So they were fucking, right? They were wrestling all night means they were.
I don't know, dude. It doesn't end with throwing someone's hip out of joint. It feels like
I don't know if you go hard enough. I don't see why
Girl,
not.
I fucking blew his hip out. That's a call you out, but you have a tattoo, do you not? Is it a Half-Life
Dude, that's
tattoo?
fucked up that you would tell everybody that.
I saw it. It was on the thing for a second.
I have the Half-Life tattoo. Honestly, I was thinking about maybe I was like looking into like what would it cost to like get rid of a tattoo? Because I don't hate it, but I'm also like, I got it at a time where I was like way bigger into video games. I was designing video games in college. And I had a girlfriend who was like, you should get a tattoo. And then Gordon Freeman was the background of my computer. So I was just like, that's what I want. And now it's like smack dab. What's nice about it is that I'll do an improv show and I'll get off stage and all these like, 20 something white dudes will be like, dude, sick. Half-Life tattoo or Aphex Twin is the other one I get. Yeah. It's a beacon. I'm okay to come to talk to.
I love it. I think it's great.
I mean, it's good because it really doesn't mean you can't misinterpret it for anything. I did for sure go look it up to make sure that it wasn't sort of some kind of like white power, white supremacy thing from like back in the day. They'll take any symbol and turn it into whatever.
That's a list that's updated daily because they're just on the web. So they just got a ton of PNGs.
Oh, yeah. Anything that looks cool for them, they'll do. Yeah.
So did you grow up religious at all?
We did go to church, but like it was more like to keep my mom like happy and keep up tradition. And then as we got older, like every one of us, as we got to a certain age, was able to opt out. And so my sister stopped going to church. I mean, my dad was the first one not to go to church. He was like, I got shit to do, or I've worked all week. I don't want to go to church anymore. And he did church his entire life. So I think eventually he was like, I'm done. So
what kind of church? Like what denomination?
Catholic church.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
We went to a place called St. Anthony's. I went to a Lutheran school for the first couple of years that I was in school too. And then we moved.
They just like the school more, or was it beefy with Catholicism for a second there?
No, I mean, that school, I think it was just like the closest school to our house.
Yeah. At some point.
Yeah.
If you're adding 15 to 20 minutes to a drive, you're like, let's just, doesn't matter that much.
It was walkable. I wore a uniform. Yeah, but it was good. It was a good school. It was super diverse. I remember in like second grade, it was just like a good experience from what I remember. But there was like mass. You did go to mass in the middle of the day. And if you weren't that hardcore to begin with, the mass part was probably a little. Did you get almost more church at school sometimes than at church? That's a confusing way to phrase that. You know what I mean? But yes, yeah. Well, I honestly don't remember because I think I went to a Lutheran school. I don't think the church wasn't as like, I don't remember going to church a ton. Like when I lived in Blue Island, when I lived by that school, I feel like because I was doing church during the week, maybe we didn't go on Sundays, but then once we moved to, we were in Frankfort, Illinois. I think my mom was like, we got to start going to church again. We got to get into the community. And I think that's nice
in terms of just, having a community for people.
That was their thing. Yeah. It was like, I want to be part of the community. I want to help somehow. Yeah.
In a new town, like when I was in kindergarten, my dad did like a 1 year like work thing in California, but we just went to like a very similar church in a similar denomination and a lot of like Dutch folks as well. So it's just instantly like, just like slot right in. They're like, oh yeah, we've got pews that fit with leg room basically because they're tall as hell.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, I did like CCD or whatever you want it, like Sunday school / like Monday night school.
Monday night school. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It was basically Sunday school where you go and you learn all the Bible verses and the prayers and whatnot. But they did it on Monday nights, and it had its own building behind the church. Like it felt very culty.
Wow.
Starting to get very culty when a church has its own separate building for like teaching classes.
Yeah, separate building that's where bad things happen. Is a separate location.
It was a separate location. It was like, and it was very like sterile. I don't know. There's something about it. I didn't like it. I tried to skip it a lot. Like when I would go with this kid Keith Burfield, and like they would come pick us up, and I would like turn all the lights off in my house and like hide and pretend like I'm not home, so they couldn't take me to school because my mom was at work. So she didn't know, and then she heard like through the grapevine afterwards that I was being a piece of shit. But I didn't vibe with it, and then eventually, I fell off going. We went for Christmas for a little while, like midnight mass, and then eventually I told I was like, I think I'm out.
Yeah, I did find it interesting. You said it was almost like the siblings like would reach a certain age threshold, and then it was their turn to drop off.
Yeah, I think it's eventually like we all just none of us were believers. Kind of college. No, I was in high school. My brother was in high school, and we also we all did extracurriculars too. So it wasn't like we were doing nothing. I think if we were all just like sitting around playing video games all day, my mom would be like, "Well, you got to go to church then." But it was like we were all in theater, we were in bands or something like that. Yeah. So it's like I think because we were doing anything else, my mom was like, "It's fine." We don't need to keep you off the street. You're not getting into trouble.
That's kind of beautiful in a way. Yeah. Man. You're going to some sort of church, the church of performance, perhaps.
The church of the arts. That's what it was.
Actually, do you want to do a scene about that? Like, I don't know, just a church of the arts?
Sure, yeah. Welcome in. How are you doing today?
Oh, great, man. It's good to see you, Raj. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you partaking in any of the arts of the body today, or just perusing, just hanging out?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying some of the arts of the body. I'm going to do the ribbon twirl.
Nice.
The one where you're hanging from the ceiling from a big ribbon.
The cirque.
Yes, I've signed up for the cirque jerk.
You'll be partaking in the cirque, the art of the cirque. That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah. I haven't done it before. Have you done it before?
I have, yeah. I just did it this morning.
I was wondering.
For a while. And I did it I actually did it in the full nude. We're allowing for full nude. There was a petition. It was signed unanimously, and so I had never done it in the full nude before. But it does feel nice to have the ribbon wrap around your body.
I was going to say that does sound great to go first with that.
Yes.
Now I'm wondering, like, is there a wipe down in between? Because I didn't come to the early service.
The ribbon is filthy for the day. Unfortunately, for anybody who comes late.
What's the earliest I could get there and still have a passably not greasy ribbon?
Whatever time I tell you, I would be there an hour before you. So there's no way. There's no way I'm going to let anyone get to this ribbon before me.
Feels like you're at the point like with bowling kind of thing where it's like you should probably just get your own if you're that into it.
You should, but currently we only have enough money in the petty cash for one ribbon. So
I have great news. I just came into a huge windfall of money. I'm loaded like as of today. Yeah, I'm loaded.
Incredible. Now. Well, yes. we would be at your mercy if you would donate some money to the Church of the Arts.
I'll write you a blank check so long as I can walk in any time of day and have first fruits of a ribbon.
Well, if you're giving us money, we can get as many ribbons as we want. Everybody can have their own ribbon.
That's a way smarter way to use the money for sure than just like.
But I mean, you are the donor, so if you would like us to just keep the one ribbon and use the money for something else, blessed be, we would love to do that as well.
Yeah, I don't want to help the church that much. I just want to make my enjoyment of it better. So I'm going to donate to just any time slot. That's what I'm writing this check out to.
Okay, that's great. And with your donation also, you get to add any art that you would like to the church as well. All donors get to add their own type of art to the church. So is there something in particular that you would like for yourself and all of us to partake in?
I did have my eye on the butt buffing class. I know that's hard to get into. Where they take one of those big old round sounders and gives you a squeaky ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, we also only have one of those, and that is one of those first come, first going to be the best of the day type of things. So you seem like you want to be the first to get in on the stuff that touches the body.
Are you telling me that everything here gets greased up early in the day? Don't tell me there's a third example of a body art that we do here at church that's gross by the time you get to it.
You tell me. But that would actually be the art of eating sushi off the body is what we have.
You got to get to the body for lunch.
We have
early.
a sushi. We do have a sushi bar, and it is usually somebody laying in the nude, practicing their meditation with food on it. And the longer the food stays there, the longer it interacts with the grease and gels from the body.
Yeah,
and it seeps into the food as well.
By far the worst one.
But if you would like to make the donation to me specifically, I'm happy to be your food model for all sushi lunches. And you'll know I'm clean because I do the ribbon first and then I do the ass buffing afterwards. So I'm squeaky clean. And then I will lay for you for as long as you want. And you can eat sushi off my naked body.
folks. It's Holy Smokes, where we smoke weed and tell Bible stories. My name is Scoochie Boochie. Tim Lyons is here. Thanks for doing the show, man. How you feeling?
Happy to be here. Feels good to do an improv scene right at the top. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, right?
I loved it.
What a
Thanks
treat.
for having me.
No problem. Let's tell some Bible stories. Now, I'll tell you, in person, we usually cast lots to see who's going to tell their story first, which is I just roll a d6. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions of how we could sort of randomize who tells their story first, me or you.
Well, I mean, I think you could still roll the dice and just don't lie to me.
Honor system, because you will not see my... Tell you what, actually, you can see my dresser.
I could see it, but there's not a chance in hell I'm going to see the number on that dice.
And then I pick up the webcam.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
I don't
Whatever
know if
you want.
Long enough. This is the only way you can trust me.
I trust you to do it up. So what? Am I calling a number, or are you just rolling for what?
It's just whoever you're gonna roll something as well, though. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. So you're rolling twice. Got it.
You have a die.
I honestly don't have a die.
In your home, you don't have a die?
I don't. I'm not.
What happened to you, dude? You used to be a king of the nerds.
I've actually never played D&D. My first encounter with D&D has been Baldur's Gate 3.
I profiled you so hard with that. You have resting D&D face, respectfully.
I know, it's disgusting. It's D&D disgusting.
What are you doing, what do you think we're doing over here, bro?
I know. I bet I do. Wait, do you have a dice? I think I do have a...
Yeah, from like Yahtzee or anything?
Hold on.
Even?
I'm going to grab... Yeah, go on 1 second. All right, only because I don't want to grab another game to open it up. I do have a dice, but it's from Catan. It's from the expansion of Catan, Cities and Nights. So there's no actual numbers on it. It actually kind of, crazy enough, it kind of looks like a bunch of little churches. If you can see, there's like a little green church, a little yellow church, a little blue church, and then like a black boat.
Oh, perfect.
So I can roll this, and I'll call like a color. How about that?
Well, okay, here's two options. Either you roll that, and then based on what we're looking at, like a red church or whatever, we're going to feel out whether we think that's worth more than, like, say, 2, for example.
Okay.
We'll find. We'll connect the via scale. Or and then option B is I go see if we have that same Settlers expansion, because I feel like there's a great chance that James does, and then we both roll the same church-shaped dice. But what's the value of the churches? How does that even work by itself?
I mean, I guess maybe you just have to pick a color, and if it hits the color, you get it, and if it doesn't, you don't. The other person gets to go. It's a gamble. or it's just a gamble.
Let me take 20 seconds of our precious
recording
time.
Go ahead, give it a shot.
All right. So I couldn't find, we just have regular Catan, but I did find Magic the Gathering cards. So we're going to determine whether my randomly selected card is stronger than whatever church you roll. Okay.
That sounds good.
After you.
All right, here we go. I'm going to roll. I got a blue church.
Okay, and then show that to the folks at home?
Yeah, that's a blue, or whatever you want to call it. It's a blue blue city, I guess, is what it would be, because it's Cities and Nights.
Okay, you got Blue City.
Blue City.
And now I'm just going to keep flipping pages, and then you tell me when to stop, and I'm going to blindly point.
Stop.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and tap Tarpan.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Summon Tarpan. What's the read me the description. What does it do?
Tarpan is put into any graveyard from play, gain 1 life. And then we got a quote, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A good Tarpan will serve you, faithful and true. A bad one will kick you in the head. That's a quote from, of course, General Jarkeld, the Arctic Fox.
Ah, the Arctic Fox.
But to put it in practical terms, it's just a 1/1. It's a pretty light monster.
Oh, it's a 1/1. Yeah, that ain't really nothing.
I think an entire Blue City easily beats 1 weak horse who might.
If you think so, you're the host of the show, so you tell me. I think
it's pretty clear for the folks at home. So after you, Timothy.
All right,
dude. Hell yeah! And I'll say this for my turn is when I'm telling a story, you can interrupt me as much as you like. And I say that to say I might interrupt you also.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, mine's not super long. It's from the Bible, and it is Jonah. It's from verses Jonah 1-4, and I'm reading from the New International Version of the Bible, so it's new, I guess. But basically, and you want me to just kind of retell it in my own. You don't want me to read it word for word, verbatim.
I want you to do whichever sounds the most fun to you. Sometimes people bounce back and forth. Sometimes people just go off the dome.
Well, there might be some good details that I can swing into it, but basically, the story is Jonah flees from the Lord, which is just a funny idea to me to try and run from the Lord. So this guy Jonah, who is the son of Amittai, which I think is how I'm pronouncing it. Basically, the Lord says, I need you to go to this city, Nineveh or Nineveh. It's spelled
Nineveh.
Nineveh. Great. So I
That's
said
how
it
they
wrong
say it in
both
VeggieTales.
times. Nineveh.
I like Nineveh. That's like a Pokemon.
Nineveh, yeah. Some kind of like cat with 9 arms and lives.
That'd be terrifying. That's a spider at that point.
Yeah. So basically, God's like, hey, I need you to go to this place, Nineveh, because there's some folks here who are speaking ill of me, and or they're acting a little wicked, a little nasty. They've lost their way, and Jonah's like, nah, like I don't want to do that. So he runs away and books a ship to Tarshish.
I think in VeggieTales it's a Scottish carrot that says it, and he goes Tarshish. But who knows if that's him being Scottish or if that's how an American should say it.
Yeah,
it's Scottish.
I like how your reference for all this is VeggieTales, and
it's canon.
Okay, it's canon. I hope something else comes up. You're like, actually, in VeggieTales, I'm like, oh, is this based off of VeggieTales?
They still haven't crucified like a pickle yet. I'm waiting for them to have the balls.
Yeah, they'll do it. They'll get there. But basically, they're like, all right, or Jonah's like, I'm going to try and skip this. I'm not really interested in doing this. So he goes to Joppa, where he finds a ship and he gets on. He pays for a fare and whatnot. He's trying to flee God. So he's on this ship. And God's like, no, Jonah, I don't think so. And he provides a insane storm that's basically like just you can't sail through it. You're not going to sail through it. It's high winds, all this stuff. And all the other guys on the ship are like praying to their gods, their specific gods. And Jonah knows that it's his God, so he's down underneath the ship sleeping. He literally goes down, like takes a nap.
There's like gales of wind coming. He's like, well,
yeah, he's like,
I'm probably gonna hit that.
He's like, it doesn't matter if I pray to my God. He's the God who's doing this. And so the guys go down there and they're like, why aren't you praying to your God? Like, why aren't you helping us? And he's just like, I don't want to. He's like, if you cast me overboard, he basically says to them, kill me, cast me overboard, and this will end. And the guys are like, no, we would never do that. And so they try and sail like even harder into it. And they're just like, oh shit, we can't. And like immediately afterwards, they throw this guy overboard. They're just like, all right, well, we tried to save you. We're going to throw Jonah. You're gone.
Gave it the old college try.
Yeah,
gave
it the old college
really
try. But then he gone. So they throw him over. And God's like, I don't think so, Jonah. You don't get out that easily. He sends a giant fish, the whale per se. I don't know if they ever say it's a whale, but I think it's just assumed that it has to be the size of something that could swallow a man whole, and then the man could live inside it for 3 days and 3 nights, because that's what happens next. Jonah's stuck in this whale for 3 days and 3 nights, which is interesting. It's another 3. You know, on the 3rd day he rose again. I'm just like, it seems like somebody just took something from that story and just added to this story. You know what I'm saying? It just sounded good.
You're kind of Da Vinci coding it a little bit.
Yeah. I've started to break it down. It's been a long time since I read the good book. Yeah. But why are all the numbers the same? It's because somebody just copied another page from somebody else. So he's in the fish and he reads this. He basically prays to the Lord. Like now all of a sudden he's all about his life. He's like, I need to get my life back.
This is rock bottom. He's in a fish.
This is rock bottom. He's like, I didn't think it was going to end this way.
I think that's when the blues were invented. He was down there just like,
yeah,
swallowed
me up. And the whale. Yeah, he was really feeling it. So after that, the Lord was like, all right, that's legit. And he made the whale vomit Jonah onto dry land. From how far? I don't know. I'd love to know. I'm
glad you asked. In VeggieTales, from very far away.
Is it really? Did he pop out of a blowhole?
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was
so far away.
Damn, dude. Did you watch VeggieTales? Did you read what I was going to do and then watch the VeggieTales of this?
No, it's just all I ever think about.
Okay, gotcha. So basically, Jonah's like, all right, now I'm going to go to Nineveh. And he's like, okay, I'll fucking do it.
Fine. Message received.
Message received. I get it. You got me. So he goes to Nineveh and he basically tells everybody, he's like, hey, if you don't change your ways in a certain amount of days, you'll need the Lord is going to come and smite thee. And so that kind of goes up through the chain of command, and it gets to the king, and he's like, all right, everybody, you can't eat, you can't spend any money. Everyone has to put on like burlap sacks for the most part until
Sack it up.
Yeah, until the time in which the God realizes, hey, we're sorry. So God sees this and he's compassionate to the people. And he allows them to not be destroyed, I guess, is what his plan was, or to plague, or whatever the Lord done do to people who turn to the wicked ways, And this kind of Jonah's like, the fuck? He's like, you made me leave my home to go do something that I knew you were gonna do. He was kind of like, I knew you were going to be compassionate because the Lord is compassionate in all these on all these stories. He's like, I knew you were going to do this. Why did I have to go do this? And honestly, God doesn't give him a good answer. He basically like throws him. He doesn't throw him, but he's like, you can sleep on this beach. And he like grows a little plant over his head. And Jonah's like, oh, this beautiful plant. It's perfect shade for my night. And then in the morning, I guess like a worm eats the plant, and Jonah's pissed off about this plant, that he didn't get to have shelter during the day. I guess he got wet or something like that. And then the Lord kind of gives like this vague, the way that the whole thing ends is basically the Lord says, I'll read the last part. But God said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? And then Jonah's like, it is. I'm angry. I'm so angry that I wish I were dead. So he's got a death wish. Jonah has a death wish. And then the Lord says, you have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend it or make it grow. It sprang overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals? And that's how it ends. And that's how it ends. And I read that and I was like, wait, what? I also don't even think there's a good message in there from God to Jonah.
It's like not in the Veggie Tales. It's like
the actual part, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, dude, also, there's goats in there.
Yeah.
The roll credits.
What about the animals? Yeah. And then that's just, it's gone. And I think he pops up in a couple other places. But the message of it all is like, you shouldn't be angry at this because I'm allowed to be compassionate for these people. I don't know. I feel like their messages got crossed somewhere.
I think, if I remember correctly, the reason Jonah's just sitting there after he leaves Nineveh is he wants to watch the fireworks of Nineveh getting destroyed.
Yes.
So I feel like he also has sort of like I think he's low-key just wanted to see the fireworks in the way people want to see fireworks, you know? Like, yeah. Like if you went to like your local town's fireworks and they didn't shoot any off, there'd be some grumpy dads for sure.
For sure. I mean, he seems like he's pissed because of that, and he's also pissed that he had to leave his house and go do something. Is kind of what it's kind of the thing I got from him. He's like, why did I even do this? Why did I even leave when I knew you were going to do this?
So I'm like, you drive to the airport and then they don't fly. They just like eat at the McDonald's and you're like,
yeah, what are we doing? Or you drive to the airport and be like, oh, actually I forgot my flight's tomorrow. And then you're like, so I just wasted a day doing this thing. Yeah. So that's the story of Jonah and the whale.
Dude, I got a ride to the airport the other day that I was leaving super, super early. Like I could have even maybe risked the blue line, but I was like, let's just play it safe. Mm-hmm. But then the dude, he drove in such a way as if I had said like, step on it. Like he was like, he kept going no highway and just exiting and like going through some speed bump neighborhoods.
What?
And he kept saying traffic with me, no traffic. And then he'd laugh and he had his hoodie strings pulled like all the way tight. So we had like, he looked like
kind of like tunnel vision.
Yeah, he was locked in, bro.
Yeah.
He was listening to 10% pleasure. I was like, dude, and so then I was at my gate for like an hour and a half. Like I didn't need to do that. I mean
better safe than sorry.
Yeah,
That's what I guess say for about him, airports. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool, but I'm
That's dangerous though. I had an Uber driver one time who was falling asleep at the wheel.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I had to
how'd you breach that conversation?
I kept tapping him because we were on the expressway and we couldn't like pull over. I couldn't be like, hey, let me out over here because we were like on 90-94, and so he kept doing the old like this thing, and I was also super tired and kind of drunk getting a ride home from the theater. And so I snapped out of my daze right away, and I was like, oh, this guy's either sleepy or also drunk.
Oh my God.
So I just kept being like, hey, wake up, buddy. And then as soon as we got off the expressway, I was like, I'm going to get out here.
Yeah.
And then I did. And I switched. I think I jumped on the red line or something like that.
Dude.
But it was wild. Yeah, it was wild to see.
Like, I can't believe I have to like tap this guy right now. I was not expecting him to tap someone.
And I still gave him 5 stars. You got to give those guys 5 stars. It's their business. It's their livelihood.
Oh, man. That guy almost killed you, though.
One bad night. Yeah, he did. I don't think I gave him 5 stars. I can't imagine I gave him 5 stars. I probably got out and immediately like texted, knowing me, I narked on his ass.
I just tweeted publicly at Lyft.
Yeah.
That's a classy move.
I just had a guy fall asleep at the wheel 7 times on driving me home.
That's a good scene. Let's just do like a Lyft and the driver he's just not doing what he needs to be doing for some reason.
Okay.
Hey, for Michael.
What's up? Get in. You said Michael, right?
Yep.
Shit, sorry. I was not even paying attention when you opened the door. I was about to just let anybody get in this car just now. But you are Michael, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in.
All right.
Seatbelts are broke, FYI. Seatbelts are broke.
Like the clickers?
Yeah.
It better? Does it work on that side if I sit on the left?
No. It's one of those seatbelts where like you have to cross over to the other side where it's supposed to be. And I had some girl in here 2 nights ago just really jamming it in there. Yeah. And so now it's jacked up. So I'll take it slow. I've never gotten in an accident. Yeah, I got a perfect record. So
yeah, I'm just trying to get home, man. Long night.
Long night, yeah.
Long night. Yep.
Damn. It's only 11:30. The night's young.
I was opera hopping. Went to a couple operas.
Oh, nice. Opera man. Sandler. Bye. You know, Sandler.
I don't know if I've seen
SNL, Opera Man.
Oh, SNL days. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm 21, so I don't really give a fuck about
Adam Sandler. Dude, SNL's never been better. You gotta check it out.
It always holds up, that show, no matter when, whatever you go back and watch. 100%
dude, I love SNL. I've been to a couple live tapings. They can't keep me out.
Are they trying to keep you out?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'll show up if they ever need a guy to stand in, like a seat filler or something like that. Somebody has to go to the bathroom. I would. They never asked me, but I would.
So you're just near the building.
Whenever I'm in New York, yeah, the first thing I do, I land, I get an Uber, and then I take off.
That's cool. I never thought about that. I guess Uber drivers could call Ubers also to support the other.
Well, I call an Uber. He drops his car off, and then I start driving. I call Uber headquarters, HQ, and I say I need a car stat to the airport. I'd like to start driving here, and then
that how it works? They supply the cars
for me. Yeah, I've been driving since I was early adopter of Uber. I was one of the earliest drivers.
And you're still driving Uber? That's
dude.
But you have all the perks?
I have all the perks, yeah. And they let me I don't have to own a car. I just always
I noticed you got the PS5 set up in the shotgun seat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I do gaming on the fly. I got Wi-Fi in the car, so I play some Call of Duty. I play Fortnite. I stream most of the day while I'm driving. I do Twitch streaming and stuff like that.
Oh, you game?
Oh, yeah, it's for me. I wouldn't let you. I don't want you messing up my K to D.
You're playing competitive multiplayer? You can't even pause?
No, you can't pause.
Dude, that's like, I'm trying to think of a more dangerous game you can be like Counter-Strike where you have to be staring at the screen for split second shit.
I don't. I know how to buy all my stuff immediately. I have the keystrokes down where it's just like click, 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 click.
Yeah, but at some point you got to just hold an angle, and holding an angle is literally just don't stop looking at the computer.
Counter-Strike's been out for almost like 20 years. I know all the maps. I know where you're going to be at all times. I'm like the Jinxie of Counter-Strike. Wait
a minute. I think I recognize your username. I think you've killed me before. I remember you went like 30-10. We all thought you were cheating.
Yeah, Fat Kicker 97.
Fat Kicker 97, dude.
PHAT though. It's not FAT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's FAT. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Is he kicking his own fat by losing weight? Is it like that? Or is he kicking large people?
No. All right. So where am I taking you, Doug? You are going.
Did the app not tell you?
No, I mean, it does, but I'm just looking. I like to zoom in on this thing, and I zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to the north side.
It's a short drive, like I said.
Yeah. Well, we'll make it a long route. You seem like a cool dude. Don't mind paying a little extra.
Wait, I don't mind paying a little extra. And it's longer? I don't think they usually charge by the distance that you get the price up front.
We need to we have to go through the city because I need to catch the Wi-Fi as I go because I'm downloading the game.
What downtown businesses Wi-Fi are you using to game?
All of them. I just kind of go through, and as I'm driving by, I just keep connecting as I'm driving through the downtown area.
You have like all your like bookmarks. You have like the McDonald's login, like all that shit, like immediate, like
yeah, dude. I'm driving
that's
Uber
actually not a bad strategy
for the day. And the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep at night, I'm driving Uber.
Well, because when I got in here, I saw the multicolored LEDs go off. I was like, this feels like Cash Cab or something. But then you just sat there in silence, holding B on Mirage, and I was like,
yeah.
Like I think is this for me?
Yeah, you can use that.
Oh shit! I see the monitor dropping down. This is tight. Okay, is this like a LAN situation? Am I in the same game?
Yeah, you can jump in. We could play if you want. I could pull over. We can
no, don't pull over. Let's play.
I want
to go home, but I also want to get a quick deathmatch in. So let's
go ahead.
You drive. We'll play. Plus, I feel like if you're that good, and I remember you being sick as fuck, I'm gonna need sort of the handicap of you also driving. So
sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Any maps you want to ban?
You know, I'll let you. Dealer's choice. You can pick it.
Okay, we'll just do Italy.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it on my Quest 3.
Is that the like VR that completely blanks your vision?
Yeah, it's the Meta. I'm playing on the Meta Quest 3, so you can, just so you know, that's even more of a handicap for you. But I'm driving with my legs, and I got my Meta Quest on.
It requires you to physically whip around.
Yeah, I got the little treadmill under my feet.
Oh no! You got to touch the brakes though.
I know, dude. I know how to drive. Let's go. Lock in, dog. Lock in, dog.
Lock in. 10% pleasure. We'll be right back, folks. How's it going? Hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you like Holy Smokes with Scoochie Boochie, hit like, hit subscribe, drop a comment, a review. All those free things help us out a lot. This part of the episode is for sale. If you want me to do an ad read, hit me up, holysmokespod@gmail.com. If you got a business, you got a show coming up you want to promote, maybe in Chicago, I can do that for you, and it is very affordable, holysmokespod@gmail.com. If you hate this part, where there's an ad, I got good news for you. We have ad-free full episodes on our Patreon, patreon.com/holysmokespod. At the Deacon tier, that's $5 a month. You get ad-free full episodes, a promo code for discounted Scoochie Boochie merch, including t-shirts and posters, and also monthly bonus videos you can't get anywhere else. They're only on the Patreon. This month, I had a conversation with my buddy Eric Tetherow about Christian rap, a genre we're both very familiar with. It is wild and hilarious. Highly recommend that. Don't want to miss it. It's on the Patreon. The highest level of our Patreon is called Disciple. There's only 12 slots, and for $12 a month, you get everything I just mentioned, plus, if you want, a cameo, up to 1 minute of me saying whatever you want, within reason. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We couldn't do it without you, although we are, so far. All right. Well, let's just get right into it. I realized I forgot to light the story lamp when you were telling the story, so.
There you go.
I almost never get it right. Isn't that nice?
Damn. That is nice. I would have liked to see that as I was telling my story.
I know. I'm really upset that I didn't give you that.
It's all right.
Also,
you can't touch it while you. Yeah, I used to have the tap light too. When I was in 6th grade, I had a tap light.
Hey-o. So I'm just working through the Bible chronologically. So I'm not even going to attempt to like previously on the Bible because it's just it's deep lore. But basically, all I need to know, Jacob, he's God's like main guy right now. Mm-hmm. He's got 4 wives, 11 kids, and some big herds.
Damn.
And he's also working for his double father-in-law. So Laban has 2 daughters, Leah and Rachel, and Jacob married both of them.
Good for him, I think.
And both of their servants. It's been a whole thing.
There's part of me that's like, damn, that's dope, and there's part of me that's like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, he's also like, that'd be one hell of a sitcom. Like, imagine like Everybody Loves Raymond times 4. Yeah. He's got 4 wives, each with their own kids.
But the fact that 2 of them are sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little foggy for me.
Dude, it's been foggy. I'm not even going to get into all of that.
Sure.
So, and also what's funny is this specific one is the Precious Moments Bible. Yeah. Which has like adorable little drawings for like little kids.
Yeah.
But then it's still just the Bible. So it's like, so then he lay with another and had 8 more kids. And
had 8 more kids with her sister. And I think this is like the parts of the Bible that like the guys who do those daddy-daughter dances and stuff like that. This is the shit that they love. This is like the part of it where they love, where they want to have like, daughter wives and stuff like that. They're like, this is the, then they stop reading right here. This is where they stop reading. Yeah. They get to this.
There's a lot of selective stuff that goes on. basically Jacob gets too prosperous. He's got all these employees and herds, and he's like, "Look, man, I've been working for you, my double father-in-law Laban, for a long time. Let's go separate ways." And there's some weird shit that happens, but it's, at the end of the day, they part on good terms. So they set up some big stones. That's where we left off at the previous episode with Kennedy Baldwin. I didn't quite finish this part about. It's just they put up big stones and named them words that mean stones to make us remember, basically.
Okay.
They're like, so Laban named the pile of rocks.
When you say stone, like, are we talking like kind of Stonehenge style giant stones or just piles of stones?
I mean, in the Precious Moments Bible calls it, "This pile of rocks will remind us of our agreement." So whatever you picture when you hear pile of rocks.
I picture a pile of rocks, to be honest.
First, he sets up a large rock. Then he has them set up a pile of rocks. So there's large rock and pile of rocks.
Okay, so it's a large rock surrounded by a pile of rocks. So there's one big rock.
They just say next to it, not even necessarily surrounding it.
The hell kind of deal is this? What kind of contract is this?
What are they going to write it down? It's so early.
I guess that's true.
And so then Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha. And the footnote says that means a pile of rocks to remind us. And Jacob called it Gilead, and the footnote says that means in Hebrew a pile of rocks to remind us.
Okay.
And that is my exact response to this section. I went, okay.
Right, yeah.
I don't
I
give a
guess
shit.
that's how they do business. That's how they did business back then.
That summarizes the last like 20 chapters. Just like, and that's just how it was done, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
So now, more context you need for this next part. Jacob famously has a brother Esau, and a few chapters ago they had this whole deal where Esau was the Chad older brother their dad loved, and Esau was, and then Jacob was kind of the younger brother, wimpier. He liked to like make stew and stay home.
Nice.
But then Jacob, the younger, wimpier, did a switcheroo and stole his older brother's blessing and inheritance. He like screwed him over because Jacob means he deceives or the deceiver. So think of anyone you know named Jacob. Their name means he deceives.
Ooh. Honestly,
it's weird we kept that one, not Esau, which means like awesome with the bow and handsome.
Yeah, that's cool. I would Esau is kind of a cool one. Jacob.
I
think because Jake sounds cool. Jake is like a cool name. So they were like, if we keep Jacob, we can call him Jake.
Yeah. Whereas if you abbreviate Esau, it's just East.
East or Saw. Saw's kind of a cool name. Yeah, dude. Saw, dude. We should be talking about the Saw movies.
And this is a long time ago. So Jacob deceived his brother, stole his inheritance by pretending to have hairy arms. It's a long story. And then he goes off to this foreign land, marries his sister's servants, have a bunch of kids, gets rich, comes back. But he's like, dude, Esau is rightfully probably going to be super pissed at me because I tricked him and ran away.
Yeah.
So he's like, how are we going to do this? I'm going to send forth like 3 separate mini herds of like gift sheep and lambs. There's a lot of this. It's just like livestock head counts. In this case, it's 200 female goats and 20 males, 200 female sheep and 20 males, 30 female camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and 20 female donkeys and 10 males. And I read that and went, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's like reading like The Martian or something, reading the science in The Martian, that book, where like you really just want to get to the action, but he's like, here's how I'm doing everything. That's what that reads like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was exactly the experience of reading that book. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't have to do that though. So why are you telling me?
Yeah, I don't even know.
So then he tells the servants with the mini herds. He's like, hey, when you run into Esau, just tell him like, hey, we're a gift. We're from your servant, your little bro Jacob. Just trying to soften the blow in state. Kind of like when you break something at home and you're thinking of how to break the news to mom. Like you call her before she gets there. She has a little time to cool off.
Yeah,
you don't let her just walk into the house and find out because then she's coming in hot.
100%.
So Jacob's so then Jacob stays back, and then this is a wild one. So his wives and children all staying in one place. He spends the night alone, and a man came and fought with Jacob until just before daybreak. All night wrestling.
Okay. Wait, who was the man?
Great question.
Just some man came and wrestled with Jake. Okay.
I love how matter of fact it is. Like then he wrestled all night with a guy. We're like, what's up?
Yeah.
when the man, this other anonymous guy, saw that he couldn't win, he struck Jacob on the hip and threw it out of joint.
Oh.
Wow! Hit him with the ham.
Yeah.
Sliced fucking deli cut. But Jacob kept wrestling. And the man said, "Let go of me. It's almost daylight."
He was like, that's like, you ever see that movie Warrior with Tom Hardy?
No.
There's like a part, it's like two brothers, strangely enough. Dude, whoa, what if it's like, now I'm thinking it's like a, analogy for this story. But it's like two brothers, they're in the octagon, they're both UFC fighters, and the brother like snaps his, one brother is like a very technical fighter who puts guys in like arm locks and like makes them tap out. And so he does it to his brother, Tom Hardy, dislocates his shoulder, but Tom Hardy's like, I ain't going to stop fighting. Tom Hardy's like kind of scary in this movie. And he keeps fighting him. And his brother's like, what are you doing? Stop. You can't fight anymore. And Tom Hardy's like, come on, fucking fight me. Until he's like crying and shit. But yeah, so that just reminded me of that. It has nothing to do with anything.
It might actually, because like the Bible was first. So like any tropes we have, like the Lord of the Rings one where the ring wraiths like stab the pillows.
Yeah.
Straight up David does that. That's straight out of the Bible. Tolkien was just like, that's tight.
I'll take that. Yeah.
So he wrestles some guy all night, and he's like, and the guy's like, "Let me go. It's almost daytime." Which I love. He's like, "Dude, it's tomorrow. Can we stop?" And Jacob goes, "You can't go until you bless me." Kind of like, it feels like brothers fight a little bit. Like, stop. Like, you have to admit I'm better at FIFA.
But they're not brothers. It's just a man, right?
Just a man.
So they were fucking, right? They were wrestling all night means they were.
I don't know, dude. It doesn't end with throwing someone's hip out of joint. It feels like
I don't know if you go hard enough. I don't see why not.
Girl, I fucking blew his hip out.
You fucking blew my fucking hip out. She going so hard on me, or he went so hard on me. He was slamming me so hard that my fucking hip popped out.
It's like So they've been fucking all night, and Jacob goes, "You can't go until you bless me." And the man goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "Jacob." And he goes, "Your name is no longer Jacob because you've wrestled with God and men, and you have won. That's why your name will be Israel, because that's what Israel means. You've wrestled with God."
Oh.
And Jacob's like, "Okay, and you are basically." And the guy just goes, "Don't you know who I am?" And he blessed Jacob. And Jacob goes, "I've seen God face to face, and I'm still alive." So he named the place Peniel. I said that right.
Peniel?
Peniel, which means Peniel.
Okay. Everything's... okay, go ahead. What does it mean?
The only one that's not literal. That'd be funny. No, it's face of God.
Okay, face of God.
He saw God's face. But yeah, Peniel.
Peniel.
Sure.
Face
that
of
is...
God.
Just phonetically, one of the weaker names I've ever heard. I would never guess that that's what that means.
That's why it never comes up, I think.
Yeah, you sound like...
That's probably I've never heard of it.
We got a big game against Peniel Tech.
Peniel Tech, I don't think... Yeah. I go to Peniel
We're going to beat them by 30. Who the fuck's Peniel Tech? So then he limps, Jacob, because he got his busted hip.
Yeah.
And the muscle around his hip joint had been injured. And that's why even today, the people of Israel don't eat the hip muscle of any animal. That's how it ends. It's like, and so you were probably wondering why we don't eat the hip, the delicious, tasty hip.
Yeah.
That's why.
Damn, Grandpa. Thanks for the story.
Yeah.
That's why that's how you ask at the dinner table, and he tells that whole story where he's just like, well, I used to wrestle. And and I threw my hip out. And that's why in this house, we never eat the hip bone.
Kids, you're probably wondering why when we get the family bucket, we only do legs, thighs, and breasts. Why not that delicious, tasty hip?
It's the tastiest
part.
It
all started when I was a wrestler on night time. I used to wrestle all night.
Yeah, that's the vibe that story has. That's like just a long-winded way that somebody asked why we don't eat the hip bone in this house.
You're like, because I TKO'd the Lord?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Peniel, if you will.
You're acting pretty penial right now, dude.
Yeah, that's it. So we don't know what happened, or does the brother come?
Yeah, that is coming up. Let's see. If you're good on time, we could do that next little section. You want to see what happened with the gifts and the brothers?
If we're going to do another scene, I probably, because I have to jump into like a doctor's meeting in like 25 minutes.
Let's do a little scene to close it out. I think it's a great stopping point. And if you want to find out what happens next in the Bible, you can A, read the Bible, or B, listen to the episode of Holy Smokes that comes out after yours.
Yeah, and follow up with me about my doctor's Zoom after this as well.
For sure. Yeah.
If this gets left in, yeah.
All right. What you got a scene prompt idea? We got a lot of good fodder there.
Based on what we talked about. Let me think here. Go back to we had
animal head count, married to sisters.
Yeah, let's do. I'll be your new neighbor coming over, and you're kind of showing me around, and maybe you have more of a different kind of lifestyle. Okay, you have an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad we probably bought this place. It's been on the market for almost like 3 months now, so it's good to finally get a neighbor in here, connect the lawns.
Oh, I'm surprised. We snapped this place right up. It was a perfect fit. I couldn't believe no one had made an offer.
Oh, well, yeah, it's good to have another family in here because we're kind of on an island. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to have somebody else, another lawn for us to connect to kind of have those barbecue nights. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Your name's Tim, right?
Tim, yeah.
Honey, come meet the neighbors, Tim. And tell Honey that we're going to push it back 30 minutes. We're going to have company.
Oh, you got talking to your wife and daughter? You're talking to you said Honey. You said tell Honey. You said Honey, come meet Tim. I was talking to Amanda.
Yep, that was Amanda was the initial Honey. And then the secondary Honey was Hamanda.
Hamanda. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're a polyamorous relationship.
More than that.
Okay.
Beyond that.
Oh, all right.
What we do cannot be bound by the human language.
Oh, wow.
By societal norms. We're sort of a melding. Honey, let's just hose out the trash bin later. We got company right now. Come say hi.
No, I mean, I'm just popping in. I just pop by to say hi. If you still seem like you're getting things set up and
gather around. I get up on a stump. Quiet down.
So many
everybody.
So many women.
Hey, up here. This is our new neighbor, Tim. Chorus of like, hi, Tim.
Hey, everybody. Hi. Hey, how are you? Great to meet you. Hey, it's only like a 3-bed, 2-bath. There's
we have
25 people here.
Massive catacombs. Oh. Deep underground.
I did not know that.
We're an apocalyptic organization.
Count against the square footage?
Look, man, let's be neighborly about this. I won't tell about how you sometimes let your lawn grow a 1/4 inch over regulation, and you don't talk about how I have an extensive network of underground catacombs that taps into the city's water.
I appreciate that because they make me get somebody to come mow it if I let it grow too long. It pisses me off.
Oh yeah. And this when you say pisses, all the women flinch. It's like
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Peace. Careful, man. Be chill, man. They're a little on edge. We're all moving into new catacombs. It's a bit of adjustment. But yeah.
Hey, so why did they flinch when I said piss? So.
Just any violent. We have very pure language here because we're melded. We don't say anything impure.
I just want to make sure it's like
we don't say cum, jizz, fart,
piss all over anybody or anything like that. The way they flinched made it kind of seem like maybe you piss on people.
You mean like if a dog flinches when you swing at it, means you've hit the dog before?
Yes.
Is that a tasteful comparison?
When I say probably not, no, but I don't think anything about this situation seems tasteful to me.
It's all tasteful. There's so many great tastes.
Okay.
It's awesome. You've played Fallout. I see your tattoo. We're doing a bunker thing.
Yeah.
You got what part of Fallout is your tat?
Part of Fallout?
Yeah, you Fallout 3 or New Vegas or whatever.
Half-Life.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying in this scene you have a Fallout tattoo.
Oh, I have a Fallout. Yeah. It's the buddy boy. What's his name? Bugle Boy.
I love that you cracked me like, no, that's not true. I have a Half-Life tattoo.
Well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I thought you popped out for a second.
It's a great ending.
It's whatever his name is, Vault Boy. is who I have.
Yeah, that's sick. That's really tight. I actually, yes, that was the inspiration for kind of my whole thing. I have a vault thing going on.
Oh, okay.
If you want to join, we have got a lot of really great people over here.
Oh, well, I mean, I've got my wife and our 2 kids, so I think we're okay in our house.
Oh, is
next
that
door.
the lady in your yard holding the shotgun?
Yep, that's her. She does skeet shooting. We have permits, so it's above board. So if you ever hear us out there shooting,
you should come by the armory sometime. We have a lot of great stuff. I think you'd really have fun with.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. I mean, she'd probably love to come by and check it out. She's big into guns.
Nope, not her. She's not been chosen.
Okay.
I start like calmly crowd surfing just on my back.
Oh, all right.
Well, so we should have you over for dinner sometime. How's Tuesday?
Tuesday, I could probably make a Tuesday, I could do Tuesday for dinner. That sounds good.
Excellent. We'll have 20 goats, 20 female goats, 40 donkeys, 11 camels, and they're young.
All right.
And my voice just gets quieter as I keep listing quadrupeds.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'll see. Great to meet you. And I look forward to Tuesday. I'll bring the dip, but I won't eat the hip.
And see. Dude, thank you so much for doing the podcast. Before we go, do you have anything you want to plug?
Hey everyone, it's Tim. I'm coming to you from the dingiest looking part of my apartment so that you know I'm sincere. I have a show coming up in Chicago on June 7th and 9th. The 7th at 6 p.m. on a Friday, super early, beautiful, love that showtime. And then Sunday, 8 p.m., the perfect time for a show. I've been working on this show for quite some time. It's a lot of characters that I've been doing over the year that I'm putting all together in one neat little 30 to 35 minute package. And I've been doing everything I can to prepare for this show. I have not had a drink in 6 months. I have switched to decaf coffee. I let my girlfriend break up with me last year. Turned down SNL after they didn't invite me back for a 3rd audition. I decided that doing 1 season of TV was good enough for me. I don't need to do any more. I learned to TikTok dance and then got too embarrassed to post it. I listened to 42 hours straight of an audiobook, and I don't know if I'm going to listen to the next 7 books. So I'm ready to do this show for you. All you need to do is pick up a ticket, come on out and see me sometime at the IO Theater in Chicago. Thank you so much.
And of course, Improv is Dead, one of my favorite improv podcasts. Big fan of the Fudge Boys.
Thank you.
If you like really funny improv like Tim just did, they do it all the time.
We do it every Tuesday. New episodes Tuesday mornings, usually at like 3:30 a.m. Shit. You can listen to it as soon as you wake up in the morning. Start your day with a little Improv is Dead.
I can't speak for your podcast, but if someone's getting up at 3 a.m., like just in the dark, just haven't even had breakfast, just listen to it, I'd be terrified. I really hope no one's doing that.
Somebody did tell me that they get pissed off if our episode drops late in the day. Like if we accidentally like drop it later in the day, they're like, I actually get angry. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. No one's paying us, and sometimes we get delayed. So I apologize, but there's nothing I can do
it's like, I know that you think that's like a nice thing to say, but it's kind of got a little too much. It's like,
yeah, a little bit. It was came at me a little harsh. I'm like, okay,
where's my fucking content, bro?
Yeah, where's my fucking content? Need to laugh.
My content is not my lunch money, bro. You can't just shake it out of me. I gotta.
God, it feels that way sometimes. Feels like the whole world is trying to shake content out of us. I'm not going to get into it.
And on that note.